Things I wish I knew before starting professional ballet as a career. Number one, I knew this in the back of my head, but honestly, it's just a really hard pill to swallow. But the fact that you are replaceable is something that I wish I would have taken with more gravity when I went into the professional ballet world. There's actually not as much opportunity as you would think when you're auditioning as a professional ballet dancer. Yes, there are a couple of contracts always available for apprenticeships, and there's definitely some contracts available for corps de ballet, but honestly, it varies from company to company, but more often than not, there's only like 2 or 3 or 4 contracts available to join the company right away for a paid position. And because there are so few spots available each and every year, if you leave, you are going to be replaced like that because there's so many hungry dancers looking for opportunity, looking for jobs. I was one of them. When I was auditioning, I had a hard time. I got rejected from a lot of places, not just because of my inability or not having the right look, but I also got rejected because there quite frankly weren't any spots for anybody. Now, I will say when I was a professional, I had to take some time off due to a couple of injuries. And when I was off, obviously somebody had to step into my place and I had to realize, oh, when I go back, that's her spot now. Thankfully, where I was, they were pretty good about giving me a spot back or even a better spot because they'd known I was a hard worker and I was with the company for a while. But in some cases, like many other jobs, if you leave for whatever reason, whether it's an injury or you just had to leave for another specified reason and you're replaced, sometimes you are quite literally replaced by the next person and your opportunity is taken away. Now, I think there's actually power to that kind of thinking. Obviously, you yourself are not replaceable. You are a whole person before a dancer, but in a job sense, knowing that there's other hungry dancers or other people who want that opportunity even more than you sometimes, you have power to it, or it holds power because it A, makes you work harder once you realize that, and B, it kind of makes you realize the importance of your job. And I only found that out the hard way in my second season at my company when I was injured because somebody else took over my spot. So when I went back, they're like, oh, you're actually going to be in this new spot, which was fine. I was just literally switching sides. It wasn't a big deal, but my spot was taken away. Now, if that had been a solo role, that would have sucked, and that has happened to me before. I was actually casted in a new work by a choreographer, and then I literally had to take off time the next day because I got diagnosed with a stress fracture in my femur, and that part was taken away, and I did not even get to go to the rehearsals because when I came back, they were like, oh, you were away this whole time? No way. Like, we're gonna give it to this person, which is totally fair because I was away. Yes, it sucked that I was injured, but that's life, I guess. It's a harsh reality, but it just makes me appreciate the time more.